It's not you?
Oh, by the way, let me say one thing.
Sure.
It's like you run away from your past, I cross the border, I start to speak English to try to avoid going back to that. It was Gareth. I was coming back from France and to Mexico City where I live, and Gareth calls me and says, "Oh, can I see you tomorrow in London?" And I go like, "Oh no, come on, It was huge. I couldn't believe it. I was invited to a restaurant in LA. The director was sitting there, and he started talking about the film, and I was like, okay, interesting. And then he was all the time saying like, there's this role, and then this guy does this, and then this guy does that, and I'm just wondering like, when is he gonna ask for? Sorry, you were saying. A friend of mine, Alfonso Cuarón, a fantastic director, once said to me that mariachis are like poppers. Poppers are it's a drug.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell us more about it because I've never tried it, but you have to start reading newspapers and all.
You watch this on TV?
Yeah, well, I guess on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
Of course.
Why would you say?
I'm such an idiot. Well, I mean, why is he telling me the story? I'm gonna go out and tell it out there. I come from doing, promotions of films where they don't want to know anything about the film.
Yeah.
English is just very limited. You have to ask yourself the questions, It's like, oh, do you want to know what the film is about? Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
The opposite. You say one thing and it haunts you forever.
Yeah.
Put yourself on tape. And I went like, oh, perfect. I was imagining my phone, myself, probably the help of someone, and that's it, right? And he goes like, yeah. Just do something simple. I mean, I imagine these scenes happening in the woods. Make sure it's a real gun that you have in your hand, so the moment I can actually buy it, and just make sure the sound is good and the lighting. Because I'm going to present this to the studio, and I want to convince them that you're the perfect Cassian. And I go like, okay. asked about Java. It suddenly started to feel like I was in love with Java. And I love suits, and I love the idea of like wearing a suit that actually fits you. It's such an interesting experience.